Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to round number 15, the penultimate round of the Formula A World Championship. We're here in beautiful Baku City for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and this could be a very crucial race for the Drivers' Championship with 4 drivers left in contention. We wonder who will be left to run for the title in the final round on Friday at Interlagos in Brazil. Without further ado then, here is the track, the Baku City circuit. Here, like I said, in beautiful Baku City, 20 turns, 12 to the left and 8 to the right. We'll be contesting 10 laps here today. The lap record will be in 1 minute and 43 seconds on around this 6.003 kilometer circuit. And of course, the main overtaking opportunity coming over on the main straight, but you want to be careful not to crash over in the castle section as we move further on the virtual lap here. As we move into the castle section, you want to make sure not to crash there. Without further ado, let's have a look at your starting group for this race. It's Milton Verve starting on pole position, followed closely by Sergio Arbeloa in P2. Then it's Nathan DENIAU starting P3 and Oscar Diaz in P4. We had a wet qualifying yesterday, and it definitely made an impact on the starting grid nonetheless. Chloe Thomas starts in 5th place, followed closely by Pascal Becker in P6. And it's Erik Turner in P7 for Roos, and Axel 76's Lucas Favorani running off from P8 today. Moving on now to row number 5, it's Mick Wallan and the championship leader Alexia Pernay, who could be under serious threat should she lose the championship lead. She leads by 10 points from into today. Then it's Sophie Sevilla for ABBEY Grand Prix and Luca Gatto starting in 12th. It's William Evans in 13th place for ABBEY Academy and Joe Daly in 14th. Then it's Eduardo Melo for XCT and rookie Liam Turton rolling off from 16th position. Riku Tanaka, he starts in 17th position, and it's Bruno Cabral just behind him in 18th. 19th is Luigi Marchetta, a full 25 seconds off the pole time. That's nothing compared to the bottom 3. Max Schmidt for Ruiz failed to set a time in qualifying. And finally, Manuel Alejandro and Scott Price also failed to set times for this race. We've got way more dry weather today, so we're going to jump down to the start of what will hopefully be a very exciting Azerbaijan Grand Prix. One of the apex UK drivers starting on pole position, the other one languishing at the back of the top 10, but just 10 points between them coming into today's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, as we wait now to find out who will be contending at the final race of the season in Brazil. 5 red lights. Lights out, and we are underway. It's a good get away from Verve, who's going to have a decent jump over Arbeloa going towards turn 1, in towards that first corner. It's a very short run. Arbeloa is still there on the inside. Verve's gone way wide, but he still managed to hold on to the race lead. Arbeloa is still there on the inside, though. He's going to want to try and contend going through turn 2. Here they come. Verve's gone way wide, and he's handed the lead to Arbeloa, but not for long, because there goes back around the outside and takes over the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix once again. Chloe Thomas beating Oscar Diaz away. She takes 3rd place now. Pernay already on the move. She's up to 8th. And Sophie Sevilla had a bit of a poor start here. She's dropped to 12th. She's going to pull to the inside, though, of Luca Gatto and the Jaguar RT going to the inside. And there goes Gatto, and there goes Sevilla around. And that could be potentially costly for Sophie Sevilla, who has to send the car around. She's broken the front wing. Oh no, one of the championship contenders may not even make it to contending at the final race. He's already dropped to 3rd in the standings behind Milton Verve, who leads this race. But this could be the end of everything for Sophie Sevilla. The championship she's been working towards all season may be crumbling before her eyes. It's a good thing that Pernay's not quite far back in the standings right now. She's down in 8th still. But very unfortunate for Sophie Sevilla. She's going to lose a lot of points, and she's already over 10 points behind. She is 10 points behind Pernay already, and look like Pernay's be gaining some more points here. She'll have a 14-point lead over Sevilla, but whether Verve will be able to take that spot. But at this point, Verve will be leading the championship heading into the last race, provided he wins this thing. And Arbeloa up there in 2nd might give himself a very good chance of triumphing next race in Brazil, if he can come home in 2nd or potentially even 1st. This last straight is going to have a real influence on who wins this race. The slipstream down here is incredible. Arbeloa down the straight. Is he close enough to be closing in on the Brit in front of him? Here they come down the straight. He's definitely getting closer and closer as they head back down towards the line. And at the end of the first lap of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, it's Verve who has the edge, and he sets the fastest lap. And Arbeloa just under half a second behind. This could be very close going down this next straight. Here they come now back through turn 2. Chloe Thomas still running in 3rd. She cannot win the championship from this far back, I don't believe, but she can still definitely try and potentially even finish 4th. She may even finish ahead of her teammate, who's coming towards the pit lane now. Very unfortunate for Sophie Sevilla, who may be out of the championship battle, depending on where Pernay finishes and where Verve finishes this late on, because Verve will be getting 25 points on Sevilla. This championship is looking over for her, provided that Verve takes the points lead. is Nathan DENIAU, who's running 6th right now. Of course, he qualified 3rd. He's lost a few places on the start, which wasn't really a surprise. Sophie now in the pit lane. He's going to have a hard job of holding off Alexia Pernay down the straight through these next couple of laps. Luckily, there's very few opportunities to overtake him, Baku, apart from down that long front straight. So he may be able to hold off that position for just a little while. But all this time is allowing Pernay to close in as through the castle section they come. Definitely no passing being made there. Verve still leading here. Arbeloa still continues chasing down Chloe Thomas, running in 3rd. Oscar Diaz in 4th place. And there goes Pernay to the inside already. And there's contact. And there go both Pernay and DENIAU out of the race. And that was a move that Pernay really shouldn't have been going for. And that could be crucial for her too. And if you thought Sophie losing her front wing was potentially the end of her championship, we may have just seen the 2 main title contenders out of the championship in this one race alone. Pernay leads the championship by 10 points coming into today. She could be coming out of it potentially down in 3rd place. The race is over for both Nathan DENIAU and for Alexia Pernay. Did I say Sophie a minute ago? Pernay out of the race. She's lost. What on earth has happened there? And Seville beat Pernay today. No points will come from it, but would you believe that? Those 2 out of the race just like that, and Verve must be feeling definitely mixed feelings in the car right now because of course his teammates crashed, so things could get a little bit harder for them in the Constructors' Championship. Provided he comes away with a victory today, I think they can win it. But of course his teammates out of the race, but that's also the championship leader, so Verve will take the points lead out of today provided he wins the race. Sorry. Arbeloa now knows what's at stake. He could potentially move up big time in the championship and could have a really good chance going into the final race in Brazil, still bringing home the Drivers' Championship. Take a look at the positions gained and lost here. Verve and Arbeloa still holding on to their starting positions, as has Oscar Diaz. Chloe Thomas has gained 2 places, and everyone else has just gained incredibly. Pascal Beck has gained 1 place. Lucas Favorani and Mick Wallan have gained 2. Luca Gatto has gained 4. And Joe Daly and that is Eduardo Melo have gained 5 places each. So that's huge for those guys. They're up into the points now. So I think everyone's now seen what happens if you go for a gap that stops existing after a brief period. And there goes Arbeloa there. From it, I thought he was about to run into the back of Verve, but then I realised he was taking a corner. Gatto here chasing down Mick Wallan, the Axel 76 machine. Of course, they still have an okay chance of potentially... I'm wondering how grim their chances are of beating Delta Moore or XCT in the Constructors' Championship. I mean, I think they still have a shot, but it's looking very unlikely. Axel 76 is getting some good points out today. They've got 6th and 7th place at the moment, so they're doing a very good job. Joe Daly running 9th. He managed to get back into the points in the last race. Of course, he'll be grateful to score some more in the last few races of his rookie season as Verve sets the fastest lap at 1:49.2. Eduardo Melo holds on to the last point with El Hadre, who started down in 21st, quickly chasing the Brazilian down. He's had a masterclass of a race so far. We're only 4 laps into this thing. We're only 3 laps in. He hasn't even completed his 3rd lap. But coming across the line now, he has. Here comes. We've got a battle for 16th place. There goes Scott Price with the edge down the straight, going in towards turn number 1. Marchetta's still there, so you have to be careful coming down these next couple of straights. And I hope they don't come too close to contact. Verve still in control of this race and the championship now. He knows all he has to do is just bring the car home throughout the rest of the first half and the second half of this race, and he'll win and he'll take the points lead. Here comes Liam Turton trying to make a move, and there goes his teammate Bruno Cabral to the inside of Marchetta, who's crashed. Is that Marchetta? No, that's Riku Tanaka who's crashed. And for the first time, he's DNFing from a race due to a crash. As Turton turns the car back around, he's got no damage. He gets himself going again. But that is Riku Tanaka out of the race just like that. And if this keeps going, I start to wonder how many cars we're going to have left to talk about come the end of this race. Sophie's VM may actually get back up into the points, which will be great for her. But of course, that depends on drivers making moves in places where they shouldn't. There goes Pascal Becker now, closing in on Oscar Diaz. Diaz pulls away quickly. And Becker can have a really good chance down this next straight fireside, trying to close down to more points. It's impossible for them to finish anywhere other than 3rd in the Constructors, unless something huge happens, like XCT win another race, which could happen, depends on how close Arbeloa gets. If he can get closer again to Verve, if he gets too close and goes for a move where he shouldn't, then that could potentially nail him out of the race. So XCT, I think they might still have a chance to take away 3rd place in the Constructors, but it's very, very unlikely, and it's looking like Fireside will hold on to it. They can't go any higher in the standings than where they are now, so They have to make do and try and defend third place. Becker definitely closing back in on Diaz here. He could have a really good run down this next straight coming off turn 2. Through the left-hander they go here once again. Arbeloa still trying to close on Milton Verve, or while his teammate attempts to close down on the Colombian in front of him. That's Oscar Diaz. Luca Gatto's been closing in on Mick Wallan gradually. More and more he may be willing to take on both Axel 76 cars should the opportunity arise. He's definitely getting closer. He's going to want to be careful going into all of these corners because you've seen what's happened so far in this race. We've already had multiple drivers out because of that. We're nearing the halfway mark of the race, and we've had a number of casualties in this thing so far. 4 drivers out of the race. 19 remain. Sophie Vieira would need 9 more DNFs in order to stand a chance here. It does seem to be looking like Verve will control the championship by a big margin heading into the final race, and will need something major to happen for Arbeloa to even have a chance of victory. Of course, Pernay is out of the race. Things could be over for her. The race we've seen so far, we've seen the 2 major championship contenders throughout the season who have potentially had their chances destroyed. Pernay is okay where she was because she was already 10 points ahead of Verve, who will only be 15 points ahead of her coming into this last race. Arbeloa finishing second here as it stands will be able to contend the last race, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I have to look at the standings after the race. Sophie Sevilla, her chances look to be over at this point because she was already down in 3rd place. She'd lost a position to Verve, who just kept on doing well and winning. And unfortunately for her, things are looking like she may not even contend at the last race. 5 laps to go here, and it's still Verve in complete control of this race. Arbeloa still running in second. Chloe Thomas has had a pretty quiet race. She still runs in 3rd. She's not doing too bad at all, but she's definitely way behind that top 4, and her chances of winning this thing are running out. Pascal Becker's may get a decent run on Oscar Diaz. He's going to have to be careful here. Going down this next straight. Diaz defends the inside. Becker trying to move in. There's contact. And there go both cars. And there goes Diaz. Oscar Diaz out of the race. Just like that. Becker gets the car spun back around very nearly. He's lost his front wing. He's driven into the... What an idiot. He's driven into the side of the barriers. And that is the end of the race. That'll be the end of his chance of scoring points here. The casualties continue to get racked up in this race as Becker backs up and gets himself going again. He's going to make sure that no one hits him going in. Here come the rest of the pack here. Things are getting more and more grim from more and more drivers here. This has put Lucas Favorani up into P4 here. He's doing a remarkable job as both Diaz and Becker are obviously out of the points. Diaz out of the race there. Very unfortunate for him. There was contact and he's just been caught in a really unpleasant position. Becker's got himself going again, but his chances of doing well today are done. And there goes the marshal to push Diaz's car away. Without a shadow of a doubt, Oscar Diaz out of the race. And this may put a dampener on XCT's chances of finishing 4th in the constructors. Most likely they will do it, but there is now a shadow of doubt over them as to whether they can pull it off. Axel 76 are right there in 4th and 6th. They have a decent chance now. Milton Verve still leading this thing with all the casualty behind him. He's one of the few drivers who's still been completely controlling the race. Arbeloa knows that all he really needs to do now is bring the car home to have a decent chance of winning the world title in Brazil. And Chloe Thomas, as I say, still running 3rd. She had a quiet race running behind these two, and I suppose all she can really hope is that someone slips up in front of her. Through the left hand as she comes. Of course, Chloe Thomas, as I say, has had a quiet season compared to her teammate, but now it looks like neither one of those two will be contending for the championship in the final race, and Verve and Apex may be walking away with both titles. Take a look at positions gained and lost now. Chloe Thomas has still gained 2 places. Verve and Arbeloa still remain in their starting positions. Favroni's gained 4, Luca Gatto's gained 7, Mick Wallan's gained 3, Joe Daly and Eduardo Melo have also gained 7 places respectively. El Hadro's gained 12 places from his 21st place grid slot, and William Evans now up into the points for the first time this season, so if he can hold on, he may take his first points in Formula A and get ABBEY Academy further up the standings a bit. Of course, DENIAU was their big hope because he started 3rd on the grid, but Pernay put pay to that and put them both out of the race. As Becker reaches the pit lane now. The gap closing down between Evans and Scott Price here. So the 2 Americans on track have to be careful, battling each other. They don't want to go for anything at the wrong time. The best place to attack would most likely be down that last straight. Anywhere else would be a really stupid place to try and attack, considering what's happened so far in this race. And there's still time for more drama, with just 3 more laps left to go. Becker coming out of the pits now. A 9-second pit stop. 3 more laps. Verve knows what he needs to do. 3 more laps of just holding that 1.5 second lead over Arbeloa. Down the stretch he comes. Still in control of this race, as I've been saying. Oh, and there's Luca Gatto, who looks like he's got a problem with the Jaguar RT. He's going to have to pull over here. The smoke is pouring out the back of that Jaguar RT, and it looks like he may be out of the race. He's going to have to pull over here. I don't see how he can keep going, but this will put Axel 76 up another place in the race and potentially the championship. They could have a chance here of taking a decent position. They could come away with a top 5 finish if these things happen to Jaguar RT. Because now it looks like they're both going to be out the points as Gatto concedes 5th place. Walland now pulling away. Favoroni's still in 4th. This is what we knew Axel 76 were capable of, those surprise results. It looks like they're about to pull off their first one right here. The Renault engine in the back of their car still doing its job. The Ferrari engine in Gatto's car not doing its job. And there goes the car up into flames. The smoke goes from white to black. And I don't see how we can keep going at this point. The race has to be over for him. He has to pull over. He can't keep going in all that smoke. Joe Daly's closing in and he's having to slow up, so that's going to allow Melo and Alhadro to get closer to him. He's stuck behind, and Gatto's going to have to try and find a place to pull over. He's not going to pull over here, but Daly's found his way past, so the worry is over for him. He's up into 6th place. He's pulling over at one of the stupidest places on the track. He tried to pull over in the castle section. He's holding up Edoardo Melo. That's not really sportsmanlike driving from the Italian at all. He may get penalised a few points for that. Nonetheless, he's pulling over. He's out of the points. He's out of the race. Yellow's out. Verve now with just 2 more laps to go in this thing. Still controlling the Grand Prix. He's got a gap of just about 2 seconds, and he may be about to claim another victory. He's won a multitude of races this season, most of any other driver. And at this point, with the elite season surge he's had, I don't see anyone else who deserves to win the title more than he does. Of course, he hasn't been consistent all season, but he's just had that surge of victories, which is carrying him to the championship. He won in Canada. He won in Hungary. He won in USA. I can't remember off the top of my head where else he's won, but I believe he's claimed 4 victories this season. He's looking to add a 5th one here. Oh yeah, he won in Belgium as well. So he's got 4 victories in Canada, Hungary, USA, and Belgium. Those were his 4 wins, and a 5th one here in Baku looks to be on its way with just 1.5 laps to go, and it looks to be carrying him to the championship lead for the first time this season. Just scrolling through the field quickly, and there's more trouble for XCT. Edoardo Melo's engine now is a problem. And he pulls the car over in a much more suitable space, unlike what Gatto did. But that'll put XCT out of this thing completely. We're down to just 16 runners in this race. And we could potentially lose more as the laps go by. Down to more there in 5th in the championship, and they could potentially snatch 4th place away from XCT. A double retirement for the yellow and black team. Things look to be over for them, and this race looks to be over as Milton Verve comes around now to start his final lap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Melo out of the race, engine failure. Just under 2 seconds, the gap between Verve and Arbeloa, who would need some incredible last lap if he wanted any chance of winning this race. But I think he knows as well as everyone else does that the best thing he can do is bring the car home for the 18 points. And Verve now putting himself in prime position to win the championship on the last day of the season in Brazil at Interlagos in the last race of the year. And we'll have to take a serious look at the championship battle going into this final race and see who can win the championship from where they are. But right now it's the Brit in control of this thing. The gap now 2 seconds, and it looks to be all over. Axel 76 having a terrific race, as are Dalton Moore. William Evans on course to take his first points, provided that Scott Price doesn't beat him. And there goes Max Schmidt up the inside of Bruno Cabral, who was in the points for the first time. He's lost out on the final lap, but it may not be over yet. Can he still get those points back from Max Schmidt? I think the Roos car may just pull away. I don't think he has anything left for him. Down the straight they come. We'll keep an eye on this battle briefly. They come down the stretch. I don't think the Thornton driver has anything left for him, and we may not be about to see 2 new point scorers unless another DNF occurred on this last lap. But right now, here comes Milton Verve. He's got a 2-second lead now over Arbolo. He comes through the last set of corners now, heading towards the line for his 5th victory of the 2021 season. Through the final corner he comes and back towards the line, charging around 300 kilometers an hour towards the finishing line. It is Milton Verve for his 5th victory of the season. He wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Sergio Arbeloa comes home in 2nd. Chloe Thomas rounding off the podium for ABBEY Grand Prix, and we wait now for the 2 Axel 76 cars to come round and claim 4th and 5th place. The Dalton Moore cars may trade places here on down this last straight here as they battle for 6th place on the road, but they've got to be careful not to take each other out. And that'll be crucial in this late stage of the race with literally corners to go. Favroni comes towards the line to claim a well-earned 4th place. He stayed clear of all the chaos and it's paid off for him. It's his best finish of the season. Wallan in 5th, and here come the 2 Dalton Moores going side by side towards the line. This one's going to be a close one. Here they come. Daly has the edge. El Hadra on the left hand side. Who's going to make it? Joe Daly holds on to 6th place by less than 100th of a second. El Hadra in 7th place. Scott Price beats William Evans to come home in 8th. And Max Schmidt has snatched the final point from Bruno Cabral. But nonetheless, it's Milton Verve who wins this race and puts himself in the championship lead for the first time this year, heading to the final round in Brazil. Well, that was as good a race as we could have got there as we look at the final classification for this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Milton Verve wins the race, his 5th win of the campaign. Sergio Arbeloa comes home in 2nd with Chloe Thomas completing the podium. Good races for Axel 76 and Dalton Moore. They get some good points for the championship. 6 drivers failed to complete this race, and 2 of those were our major championship contenders, Sophie and Alexia Pernay. And that'll impact them big time in the championship as we have a look at it now. Milton Verve, for the first time of this season, is in control. He leads by 17 points. Sophie can only just win the championship, but actually no, she can't win the championship on countback. So only Arbeloa, Pernay and Verve can contend for the championship. And I can confirm to you now, Apex UK are the first ever Formula A Constructors World Champions. They beat ABBEY Grand Prix to 2nd and Fireside still in 3rd with XCT in 4th. Well, that was a very exciting race here in Azerbaijan. We hope you'll join us next time for the final round of the championship in Interlagos in Brazil. Thank you for watching this one, guys. Make sure to subscribe and we'll see you for the next race. Goodbye.